Welcome to the story world. You can learn effective facts about life by subscribing the channel and turn on the notification bell for our next video. Let's start the story. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between towering mountains and thick forests, there were two boys named Leo and Arlo. They were best friends and inseparable companions, each driven by a love for adventure and discovery. Leo was a courageous and headstrong boy, always charging forward without a second thought, while Arlo was thoughtful and cautious, preferring to consider the possible outcomes before acting. Together, they balanced each other perfectly, embarking on countless adventures around the village and learning something new each time. One crisp morning, as the autumn leaves turned vibrant shades of red and gold, the boys overheard a story from an old traveler who was passing through the village. He told them about a hidden treasure deep in the Whispering Woods, a dense forest on the other side of the mountains. The treasure was said to be magical, capable of granting its possessor wisdom and strength beyond measure. However, the journey was treacherous, and many who attempted it never returned. Most children would have been frightened by such a tale, but Leo and Arlo were thrilled. The idea of finding a legendary treasure filled them with excitement and wonder. They made up their minds to set off at dawn the following day, even though they knew their parents would disapprove. They promised each other to be brave, no matter what challenges lay ahead. The next morning, they packed a few essentials: some bread, water, and a small map Leo had drawn based on what he remembered from the traveler's story. As they left the village, the sun was just beginning to rise, casting a golden glow over the mountains. The first part of their journey was relatively easy, as they hiked through familiar hills and fields. They laughed and joked, their spirits high. Leo led the way, eager to reach the forest as quickly as possible, while Arlo carefully scanned the surroundings for signs of danger. As they approached the edge of the Whispering Woods, the atmosphere changed. The once cheerful sounds of birds and rustling leaves were replaced by an eerie silence. The trees were tall and twisted, their branches intertwining to form a thick canopy that blocked out the sunlight. Shadows danced on the forest floor, and a cold wind seemed to whisper secrets that only the trees could understand. Leo hesitated for a moment, but quickly brushed off his unease. "Come on, Arlo, the treasure won't find itself," he said, striding confidently into the forest. Arlo followed, but he couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. They walked for hours, navigating through the maze of trees, when they suddenly heard a faint sound. It was a soft cry, like someone calling for help. Arlo stopped in his tracks. "Did you hear that?" he whispered. Leo nodded, his curiosity piqued. "It's probably just the wind," he replied, trying to keep his voice steady. But Arlo was not convinced. He insisted they investigate, in case someone truly needed help. Following the sound, they soon stumbled upon a small clearing, where they found an old man trapped under a fallen tree branch. His face was lined with age, and his clothes were tattered, but his eyes sparkled with a kindness that put the boys at ease. "Please help me," the old man said weakly. Without hesitation, the boys rushed to lift the branch off him. It was heavy, but with both of them working together, they managed to free him. The man sighed with relief and slowly stood up, brushing dirt from his clothes. "Thank you, kind lads," he said, smiling warmly. Not many would have stopped to help a stranger in these woods. Most are too consumed by their own desires to care. Leo and Arlo exchanged glances, wondering what he meant. But before they could ask, the old man continued, "I know why you are here. You seek the legendary treasure, do you not?" The boys nodded, both surprised and excited that he knew of their quest. The old man looked at them thoughtfully. "Many have tried to find it, but few succeed. The treasure does not reveal itself to those who seek it for selfish reasons. Only those with pure hearts, who are willing to help others and overcome their own fears, are worthy of its power." Leo, always eager to prove himself, replied confidently, "We can do it. We're brave and strong, and will help anyone who needs it." The old man chuckled. "Bravery is indeed important, young one, but so is wisdom. Sometimes the greatest courage lies not in facing danger head-on, but in knowing when to step back and think before acting." With those words, the old man pointed them in the direction of the treasure, and then vanished into the shadows, as if he were nothing more than a ghost of the forest. Determined to prove themselves worthy, the boys continued their journey. Along the way, they encountered many challenges. They had to cross a rushing river, climb a steep cliff, and navigate through thorny bushes that left their arms scratched and bruised. Each time they worked together, combining Leo's strength and bravery with Arlo's careful planning and observation. As they went deeper into the forest, they encountered a fork in the path. One path was wide and smooth, leading into the heart of the forest, while the other was narrow and overgrown, barely visible under the foliage. Leo immediately wanted to take the wider path. "It's the fastest way," he said confidently. But Arlo hesitated. "Something doesn't feel right about it," he murmured. The old man said that only those with pure hearts could find the treasure. "Maybe the easier path is a trick." Frustrated but trusting his friend's intuition, Leo agreed, and they took the narrow path. It was difficult to navigate, but as they made their way through, they noticed small carvings on the trees, symbols that seemed to guide them forward. The forest felt less ominous, and the whispers seemed to encourage them rather than frighten them. After hours of walking, they finally arrived at a hidden grove bathed in a soft, golden light. In the center stood an ancient stone pedestal, on which lay a small, intricately carved box. This was the legendary treasure they had been searching for. Leo reached out to open the box, but Arlo stopped him. "Wait," he said, remembering the old man's words. "The treasure is meant for those who are willing to help others and who know the value of wisdom." Taking a deep breath, Leo nodded and carefully opened the box. Inside, they found a small crystal vial filled with a shimmering liquid and a note that read, "The true treasure lies not in riches, but in the strength of character and the bond of friendship. Share this elixir, and it will grant you wisdom and courage that will last a lifetime." Without hesitation, the boys shared the elixir, each taking a sip. As they drank, they felt a warm, comforting energy spread through their bodies, filling them with a sense of peace and clarity. Suddenly, they heard a familiar voice. The old man appeared before them once more, his face beaming with pride. "You have proven yourselves worthy," he said. "The treasure has granted you gifts that will guide you throughout your lives. Remember, true strength comes not from power, but from kindness, wisdom, and the courage to make difficult choices." With those final words, the old man disappeared, leaving the boys alone in the grove. They looked at each other, feeling a renewed sense of purpose and understanding. They realized that their journey was not just about finding a magical treasure, but about discovering the true value of friendship, courage, and compassion. As they made their way back to the village, they reflected on all they had learned. They had faced dangers, helped a stranger, and trusted each other in moments of doubt. The adventure had tested their character and strengthened their bond. When they finally returned home, they shared their story with the villagers, not of the treasure they found, but of the lessons they had learned. Their tale inspired others to be brave, to help those in need, and to seek wisdom rather than material wealth. From that day forward, Leo and Arlo became known as heroes in their village, not because they had discovered a hidden treasure, but because they had shown the power of friendship, courage, and wisdom. And they knew, deep in their hearts, that this was the greatest treasure of all.